what's your finish? What are you gonna beat me with? And I was like, I'm not beating you. I said, you crazy? You know, I said, I already got heat. I said that if you do the favor, you're gonna kill my career. All the wrestlers gonna hate me. They already hate me. I was like, you please don't do this to me. And he went over and he told me, he said, you the only wrestler I ever met that didn't want to go over. And I was like, you know what? I'll be that guy, because it ain't nowhere in hell that I'm gonna go back and say I went over on Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Wow.
Just the greatest rib would be a TV show that I would like to help host, because just so I could hear all of the stories of the greatest ribs.
Yeah.
Because I was with Owen Hart.
Oh.
Man, Owen, he was fantastic.
He was the greatest. He was one of the greatest. I've been around several generations, and Owen was one of the best ever.
Man, and you mentioned golly,
Armstrong?
Bob Armstrong.
Yeah.
So I wrestled Bullet Bob.
Yeah.
Really?
And, yes, in Knoxville, Tennessee, the K-Town SmackDown. And I just got so much respect for the man, because I knew who he was. I grew up watching him at WCW, and I just kept on looking at him, and they was like, "Hey, you gonna work with Bob Armstrong tonight?" And I went, "What?" And they was like, "Yeah, you gonna work with Bob." And I was like, "Oh my God." I just could not believe it. And I got, I went over there and I was trying to talk to him, and he was like, "So what's your finish? What do you want to do?" And I went, "What do you mean?" And he was like, what's your finish? What are you gonna beat me with? And I was like, I'm not beating you. I said, you crazy? You know, I said, I already got heat. I said that if you do the favor, you're gonna kill my career. All the wrestlers gonna hate me. They already hate me. I was like, you please don't do this to me. And he went over and he told me, he said, you the only wrestler I ever met that didn't want to go over. And I was like, you know what? I'll be that guy, because it ain't nowhere in hell that I'm gonna go back and say I went over on Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Wow. That's fantastic. I love hearing that. But that's just that internal respect that we have for each other in the locker room, and sometimes, I mean, as I say, Paul Bosch come up to me in Houston one time and said, "You're going over Blackjack Land 2 times. That's 2 straight falls." I said, "No, I'm not." He looked at me, "What do you mean? You're coming back with a Harley?" I said, "I'm not, there's no way in the world will he let me, and there's no way in the world will the people believe I could beat Blackjack Mulligan in 2 straight falls." So, of course, we worked something out, and Mulligan came to me later and said, "Thank me." I said, "No, I was just preventing myself from getting killed out there, Bob." But it's that internal respect that you have for each other.
Yeah.
You know internally what's right and what's wrong, and that's what separates a lot of guys, and that's really part of making you the star that you are too.
And Gerald, the people that wouldn't have done it, I had no love for.
Yeah.
And man, there's a lot of people that we all know, and ain't no reason to mention no names, but Ryback, piece of shit. There's not many people that they care about how they're perceived over the business and over what's right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I just hated that.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things when I first started wrestling that I had trouble with because Jerry Lawler, if anybody on earth should have been able to beat me, like it should have been Jerry. Jerry was like the greatest. And he did the favor for me. Like, and Vince was explaining to me what doing a favor was. And when he was explaining it, I went, wow. I said, why is he doing that? He said he volunteered to do it. He said because it wouldn't hurt him. He said tomorrow he's still gonna be Jerry Lawler. If you beat somebody else, it might hurt their career. And I went, damn, like people don't realize how intricate and important what we do psychology wise is. That's what it's the magic.
Yeah, that's the magic right there.
I just wish that, I just hope that these NXT people are getting that kind of understanding, because I know the business is different. It's different. But everybody that I brought into wrestling, that I recruited and scouted, and I talked to them on the phone and mentor, they have my mentality. Yeah. Every last one of them. And if they didn't, I would be like, man, you might want to part ways with them.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned something, business is different. It's different in the hold and the moves and the stuff, but the respect and the psychology backstage is still the same. I mean, it's got to be the same, or we're losing a big part of our business. We're losing the magic part of the business, like you say.
The magic is going away.
Yeah, and that's a shame. But
good to have a good East Texas friend here with me. He was talking about your Whataburger, that they actually had a Whataburger special for you. He said he'd been through the Silsby Whataburger.
Wow. Now I got to go down there and get one.
I told you about it. Me and Bruce Pritchard, of all people, he knows wherever Whataburger is in the state of Texas, I think. And speaking of having Whataburger named after him, but we went to Silsby, Texas. We're leaving Houston, we're going through Silsby, going somewhere. I don't know, probably Louisiana.
Probably Shreveport.
Going to Louisiana, and we stopped in Silsby. There's a Whataburger. Bruce knew right where it was. So we didn't go through the drive-thru. We went in and talked to the people there. So I was ordering my double jalapeno and everything, and they said, hey, you guys wrestlers, right? Yeah. Why? She said, Mark Henry comes in here all the time. Mark Henry is one of my favorite people of all time. I said, does he have a special burger? And yes, he does. It's a triple jalapeno. Got all the fixings on it. She described it, and man, almost changed my order from double to triple, but I know I couldn't eat a Mark Henry Whataburger, man. So, but anyway, speaking of
if you got a Whataburger named after you in Texas, you're on the level of Nolan Ryan and Earl Campbell. I mean, you don't get any higher than Whataburger naming something after you.
John, have you ever been to Silsby, Texas, though?
I have been to Silsby, Texas.
It's a highway.
It's a highway. It's like Sweetwater. You blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Kind of like all of our hometown, Bowlegs, Oklahoma. We don't even have a highway there.
3 lights.
You got 3 lights.
You come through those 3 lights and you're out of Silsby.
Yeah. Well, Bruce knew right where that. I guess you just got to stay by the red lights to get to the Whataburger there in Silsby, right? Let's give it a plug there.
You know what? I love the fact that town is a small community, because everybody knows everybody, and they, like I support the Little Dribblers and the Boys and Girls Club, and I've been sponsoring the Little Dribblers team for the last 5 years,